And so before we do begin the video, I want to ask you lads a quick question. Would you rather summon on a banner like this, or would you rather summon on a banner like this? I think the answer is self-explanatory. So coming up tomorrow morning, we are going to be getting the tomorrow summons, hence the name. I've been making that joke for the last 2 or so years, but Masaki, Isshin, and Ryuken are set to return. And the great thing about this banner, and it does look to be a trend, is that every first step on these rerun of 1000-year Blood War banners are actually going to be free. The first step is free, and it does appear to have normal raids. So 4.5% chance to get a featured character, that's one of these 9 characters, and then a 1.5% chance to get an unfeatured character. So of course, starting tomorrow morning, everyone should be doing that first free step. That's a given, and it really comes down to you if you want to do that second step. However, the point of this video is to make sure you guys are aware that you shouldn't be summoning on this banner. So maybe do the discounts. Again, doing 2 steps is only going to cost you 200 orbs since the first one is free. But what you need to keep in mind is that we now have 1000-year Blood War banners. At the end of July, we had a 1000-year Blood War banner. At the end of September, we had a 1000-year Blood War banner. And there's a potential chance, not guaranteed to happen, but we could get another 1000-year Blood War banner at this end of month because, you know, the anime is ongoing. And because of that, just like what I've been preaching for basically the last 9 or so months, is that you shouldn't be pulling on banners like this because these characters, as already seen on the second part of the anniversary, Masaki, Isshin, and Ryuken, they were fillers with Yamamoto, Aizen, and Yuha. And personally, I'm not sure if it's just me, and maybe I'm in the minority, I'd rather pull for these 3 characters going for the newer characters. So that way, I have an overall better chance of just getting something good. Because right now, Masaki, Isshin, and Ryuken are like the main banner characters alongside these other 6 characters. And I think it's just not worth summoning them because you're kind of just wasting your orbs. Because if you do pull these characters, while some of them are fun, some of them are great, some of them have aged quite well, and some are scheduled to get resurrection potentially by the end of the year, I feel like it's just better, as always, to just wait for the newer 1000-year Blood War characters. And we are getting to that point where these characters are going to be quite broken. They're going to be based off the anime. There's a good chance Kyogre is going to come into the game soon. Maybe even Asnot when his fight gets shown. So if you are wanting those characters, you're better off just saving orbs for those new 1000-year Blood War characters and hope that these characters that you also want, maybe you're a fan of Bambietta, Candice, and Askin, for example, then just hope that when that new banner does come out, those characters are seen there as fillers. Because every new 1000-year Blood War banner we do get is going to contain these old 1000-year Blood War characters, and there is going to be a point where you're going to see these same faces over and over again. I mean, if we look at the most recent 1000-year Blood War banner, and also the 1000-year Blood War banner for the anniversary, both of those banners featured round 6 of 1000-year Blood War, Nemu, Mayuri, and also Toshiro. And I'm pretty sure if you pulled on both of those banners, there's a good chance you actually got those characters because they were featured twice. Now, imagine they were in this banner as the main headline and you summoned on that banner, you'd just be wasting orbs. Plus, at the same time, this banner is going to be here from the 21st to the 8th of next month, so if for some reason you have a massive itch to summon on this particular banner, wait till the 28th, that's when we're going to get news of what the end of month banner is going to be, and then you can make a decision if you want to summon for those characters, or if you want to summon for these characters. But again, the main thing is that the first step is free, so I definitely recommend everyone do that. I mean, you'd be stupid not to, and if you really want to, and you really just want to test your luck because you're missing every single character in this banner, then maybe do the second step. But I don't think any account should really be going past step 5. I just don't think it's worth it. That said though, let's actually talk about the characters, because since we are all going to be doing the first step, maybe you're new to the game, you don't know what these characters do, well, let's quickly talk about them. So the first character we're going to look at is 1000-year Blood War Isshin. Now, I'm probably going to say this a lot of times, but keep in mind, these characters are a tad bit outdated. And when I say outdated, is their range are good, some of their strong attacks are great too, their damage output isn't even that bad. In this case, Isshin, for example, basically has a 40% berserker, and that's good to be used. Like, if you're a fan of Isshin, you can definitely make him work, especially if you get dupes of him, for example, you can use him. However, compared to some of the newer characters in the game, of course, they just aren't going to compete damage-wise and even sometimes range-wise. So I don't want to spend too much time letting you guys know these characters are a tad bit outdated, but keep in mind, these were some of the best characters at the time, like 2 or so years ago. So the game hasn't gotten that harder since then, it's just characters have gotten better. So you can still use characters like Isshin, for example. Now, Isshin is a speed holo killer. He does come with the read holo dodges, so he does have that usage going for him in certain scroll quests, those weekly quests. You can use Isshin if you need a speed character that can read holo dodges. His strong attacks are pretty good, that being a beam SA1, distance distant AoE SA2, and a 4-screen SA3. It's the set standard, just OP kit for the most part. Now, times have kind of changed since then, and there are better strong attacks, but, you know, that's good enough to be used. It's very smooth gameplay, it definitely does work, and his damage output isn't bad since he does have a 40% Berserker, and 20% of that is being shared to your entire team if you are a speed attribute captain. Masaki's going to be the next character. She has actually held up quite well, and as far as old 1000-year Blood War characters do go, she's probably up there with Daddy Ichigo and Mummy Rukia in ones that are still usable to this day. Now, the reason for that is because she is a ranged knight character with a really high damage output and some good survivability. So for starters, she is a human/Quincy with the no affiliation kill ability. She does come with a boost SA2 that also provides your team with a barrier, a 3-hit barrier for herself and a 1-hit barrier for your teammates. Then she also does have a pretty high damage output given the fact that she has Frenzy +1, 80% normal attack damage increase, guard break, and also guaranteed to hit hidden enemies. So because of the way that she was designed, she's still a great character to use in Arena. You can use her to auto some of the harder content in the game, and at the same time she's also still the main booster when it comes to the ranged no affiliation week of guild quests. Masaki is just a really fun to play knight character, and again, you can't go wrong with her. Yes, there are better knight characters out there, but they only are better in terms of survivability, maybe inflicting stat elements. Masaki still packs a punch even to this day. Ryuken, I'm gonna be honest, doesn't really have much going for him, at least in my opinion. He has Super Killer, he is a power Super Killer at that, so it is kind of a contested attribute and killer combination, but he does provide you with a 40% strong attack recharge soul trait, so at the very least, he will be a good soul trait, and eventually, whenever he gets resurrected, potentially a couple years from now, he might be a very good link, so that's basically like what he has for him. Other than that though, I mean, you can still use Ryuken. He does come with a 60% Berserker, but keep in mind he doesn't have the best strong attack kit, and he also doesn't inflict any stat elements, so he's kind of gimmicky on there, but again, still a character that can be used. Askin is going to be the Brave Battle character of the banner. He was designed to counter Ichibei, so if you ever see any Ichibeis in the lobby, Askin can be used. And the funny thing about this character is that he's actually gotten better over time. In fact, I still use him in my Brave Battle team, which is something that I never did. I actually swapped him out for someone like Kuroshiki. Granted, my Kuroshiki is 1 out of 5 and my Askin is max transcended, but Askin is starting to see a lot of usability in Brave Battles if you use him right and correctly. And by that, you need to set him up so he actually uses his debuff effect, which is SA2 does have. If you use that after someone like Yuha uses their boost, you actually remove the boost and then lower their stats, essentially giving you a massive stat advantage. So despite Askin not having any invincibility himself, despite him not going through any invincibility, despite him not even having a relevant killer, a squad 0 killer is almost never seen, he still holds up, mainly due to his debuff effect, especially again if you pair that right and you know how to use him. And given the fact that there's a lot of characters out there now that don't have invincibility themselves, it does allow someone like Askin to be used again. Like I mentioned, my Brave Battle team consists of 6th Anniversary Aizen, mainly to do most of the damage, Yuha to boost us and also be the backbone of the team, and then Askin is there to debuff the enemies and give us that stat advantage. And because of that, I'm easily able to win majority of my games. And it's probably worth mentioning, because he does have a squad 0 killer, maybe you don't have any other good option there, you can still use him in guild quests to go against the Quincy, Human, Squad 0, and also Stammer to guild quests. Now, Bambietta is just a set standard SP character for the most part, pretty decent strong attack 1, good distant AoE strong attack 2, and a 4-screen SA3. Damage output is a 20% Berserker with 20% more damage to burning enemies. Now, that's basically about it. Like, she is easily able to be used, she has good kit, it's obviously Bambietta, but I feel like we'll probably due a new Bambietta sometime soon, given the anime is about to get to one of her fights. But this Bambietta definitely still holds up, can still be used, isn't bad by any means, it's just lacking a tad bit on the damage output compared to some of the newer characters. Same goes for Candice. She was once one of the best characters in the game, now she's just pretty decent. She has a good strong attack kit with a lunge SA1, a distant AoE SA2, and a 4-screen SA3. She does have the Aranka killer, and for the most part when it comes to mind characters with the Aranka killer, there isn't that many out there, so Candice still can be used. Every attack that she does have can potentially inflict paralysis, and what I still like about her and why she still kind of holds up for the most part is that her soul bomb does actually inflict weakened defense, and then because of bonus abilities you can stack that, give her double weakened defense, and that will then allow your soul bomb to do a lot of damage. She also does have Sprinter +2, so she has some decent mobility, maybe throw alongside with bonus abilities, and she's going to be a pretty fun to play mind character. And then lastly, we'll get into the round 2 of 1000-year Blood War, 3 of the characters that are scheduled to get a resurrection potentially at the end of the year. So first up, we have Yachiru Unohana, once the best character and most broken character in the game. Now, unfortunately, It's just them. Now, keep in mind, she was a NAD character designed for Brave battles, and as far as that goes, she isn't really that usable in Brave battles. In fact, she doesn't have any damage increase with no bruiser value whatsoever. Her damage output is quite low. She herself isn't even that tanky, so this is a character, while she's still really cool and potentially going to get a new character with the anime back now, this version of Yachiru unfortunately doesn't really offer much in your account. Now again, she is potentially going to get resurrected and those skills might make her better, but given the fact that she's a Brave Battle character, I'm not really expecting much from this particular character. The next character is Bankai Kenpachi. Now this version of Kenny actually has a pretty decent chance of getting a good resurrection, given the fact they did increase the skills resurrected characters do get. This character only has 5 skills, which therefore means he's going to pick up 3 new skills upon resurrecting, and that could be the skills he needs. For example, Sprinter +1, 20% Berserker, and also 20% Havoc. If for some reason they do that and give him the recharge on his soul trait, this will actually make him a really good character even in today's standards. Well, kind of. It'll make him better. That's the main thing. He's an investment. Kenpachi is a pretty good chance of getting a good resurrection, so if you do pull him right now, it's more so setting up for later down the year for him to get a resurrection and be a more playable character. Kenpachi does have a trans mechanic, so he is actually quite fun, and a resurrection can definitely save this character. And the same can be said for the other Yachiru. In this case, she's a power sniper with the Espada kill ability. Now this character is useless in terms of playability, for the main reason because she does not have Havoc. She was a worse version of Byakuya. However, unfortunately on Byakuya's side, he did get the unfortunate treatment in his resurrection and didn't pick up Frenzy. However, there's a pretty decent chance that this Yachiru will pick up Frenzy, given the fact that she wasn't treated as a hybrid. She just wasn't given Frenzy originally because she has Bombardment. But since she has 2 skills with a resurrection, there's a good chance she's going to pick up Frenzy and potentially even Havoc, maybe strong attack damage on her soul trait, and she will be a really good character to have if she does get the good resurrection treatment. Because if she does pick up Frenzy, she will actually be usable in the Espada Weaker guild quest, and if she does pick up strong attack damage or full stamina as a second soul trait, then she's going to be a very good link for any future power character. So for the 3 oldest characters in this banner, Yachiru, and Kenpachi, most of them aren't even usable, but a resurrection is potentially due in 3 or so months time, and that could make them pretty good. So with that said, lads, that was the breakdown for the Tomorrow Summons, the Blood Warfare, which is scheduled to come out tomorrow. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, I don't think it's worth going past step 2. Mostly everyone should just be doing the first step, hope for the best, and then call it a day. If you want Masaki, if you want Askin, Bambietta, Candice, Isshin, whoever's in this banner, if you want them, it's better to wait for a new 1000-year Blood War banner that does feature these characters, because there will be a time where they are paired with the newest, most broken, most hyped characters in the game. So I recommend everyone watching this video not to summon past step 2. But if you don't care about that and you're going to summon regardless, good luck. Hopefully you don't waste that many orbs. But with that said, hope you lads did enjoy the video, and I'll see you lads next time. Peace.